Hi, this is Barry J. McDonald here, and I'd like to welcome you to today's blog post over at writecom.com. And today we went back in time, back to the 80s, when Barry was a small Barry, and Barry heard a story one day in the playground that Mr. T had died. Now, since then, Mr. T has had a couple of hoaxes since then, and his fans have been told numerous times that he has died. But back then in the 80s, this was pre-internet, when I couldn't go to Google, I couldn't find, a social media account that I could check out and see what the news was and what happened. But at the time, this rumour was going around our playground that Mr. T was dead, and Mr. T had died from lifting a car, and because he had tried to lift a car, his heart exploded, and he died because of it. Now, of course, it sounds ridiculous at the time, and at the time, I never really questioned why would Mr. T want to lift a car in the first place, and, how can your heart explode in your chest? But back then, naive as I was, that idea was replaying over and over my head like a GIF. I had visions of Mr. T trying to lift this car and his heart exploded in his chest, when it seems so crazy now when I think about it. But, back then when we had no access to Google and all these different places, it probably seemed that, it made it harder to find out information. If you wanted to find out something, you had to go to a library, you had to look it up. And, while it seemed a bit, ancient and seems a bit as if we had a poorer time back then because we couldn't get our hands on all this knowledge. Sometimes having too much knowledge that's within easy access can work against you. It's easy to do a Google search, like for example when you're self-publishing and you want to find out maybe how to design a book cover. It's very easy to go to Google and type it in and to go to some website to buy some product from somebody who says that they know what they're doing, that they're an expert on it. And it's easy to get duped into thinking that, this person knows what they're talking about. You see it maybe in so many writing forums. You find people who are constantly in there talking and giving advice and saying you should be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. But you always find strange because, like, if you were a busy writer, the last thing you'd have time to do is to go into, all these forums and, speak regularly because, you're writing, so, we wouldn't have the time for it. But a lot of people get duped into all these different advice. When it came to even me in particular, many years ago when I was trying to get book reviews for my books, I got duped into all the kind of the flashy software that would scrape Amazon and get me all the reviewers' email addresses, and then it was just a simple matter of just emailing them all, and then all the book reviews would come rushing in. Of course, it never did, and I was left with crap software that I could never use. And there was all these different notions of you could do this and you could do that. And I found that, sometimes you're better off, trying things yourself and, tinkering around with your results and trying to come up with something that does work, And that was one thing that I did find it was successful with the book reviews. And if you're interested in getting book reviews, I recommend you go to Book Reviews Made Easy, and you'll find the plan that I'd used for coming up with book reviews. Because I've seen, like, even online, there's some people selling packages for book reviews where they charge a couple of $100, to get a handful of reviews, and then you're not guaranteed that they're actually going to be good reviews, and whether the people will actually want to read your book in the first place. And it's unfortunate that, we have so much information on Google, so much information hitting all the social media streams and Facebook, and at the minute Facebook is going through this kind of fake news and all this and fake accounts, and, sometimes it's, when I think back to the 80s and, pre-internet, sometimes we were better off back then because, all the information that was in the libraries was usually done by experts, all the content was edited and maybe proofread, and maybe people had to look up the facts before they could like publish stuff in the newspapers and stuff like that, where nowadays anybody can create a blog and anybody can put up any kind of nonsense, and if you can make it look professional looking, with fancy graphics and all that different stuff, you can actually make it look like you know what you're talking about, when the majority of people that are posting stuff probably don't know and are probably just rabbiting the same information that they heard from somewhere else, and you, unfortunately, going by this advice, are suffering from it. So if you'd like to know more and get some good advice, because I've been there, I have made the same mistakes when it came to children's books and overpaying for pictures and all that sort of stuff and getting book reviews. If you're fed up, being duped from one thing or another, and you don't know what is working and what isn't working, I highly recommend you drop by the Writecom blog and pick up the 2 great free reports you have at the moment. And one of them is how to sell more books. I'm going to show you lots of ways to do book promotions, how to save money in your book promotions. and where are the best places to go. Another one then is 10 ways to make money from writing. Writing, even if you haven't written a word before in your life, you don't have to be a fantastic writer to make money from your writing. If you come on over, I'm going to show you a free report where I'm going to show you how you can write simple 500 word articles that you can package together and make money from and sell them over and over again. So like the information I have on the WriteCom blog, it's not information that I have scraped off another website or kind of gone on hearsay or Chinese whispers and stuff like that. You're going to find stuff that I've used that has worked for me, and I highly recommend you drop by because, you've probably been duped long enough. So if you're kind of being duped into stories of thinking like along the lines that Mr. T is dead from this crazy way from lifting cars and stuff like that, I highly recommend you come over and, find out what works today and what you should be doing. So my name's been Barry J. McDonald. This has been today's blog post over at writecom.com. So take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.